What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, he gets around on the bottom.
Plecostomus, there's 4 of them.
Yeah, there's just so many fish in this tank.
Always on the wall. You just never hear when they're out. There's a hybrid in there too, isn't there? Do you think
A lot of all these fish are all hybrids. A lot of all the babies are.
No, but you've got the Plecostomus, which is crossed.
See, look, there's the albino one there.
Yeah, there's a big one too.
And there's another one there.
I'll see one.
Is that the broken back one? Yeah, see that? Is that the guy with the broken back?
And then we got
That's alright.
There's one around in
Big
here.
Uterus
He just
there.
does a dog's leg, just like that. That's how his back sits.
1, 2, 3,
Snap.
4.
scoliosis.
Yeah, maybe.
Man, just the volume of babies through the roof.
And if you have a look closely, there's some other teeny weenies. There's
Oh, you
some
bet there'll be.
two-
You need to like almost restart the tank. Get all these babies
You
out.
got to go in there with a net and some food and just go.
It won't happen.
50 out.
I'll just donate some of my peacock bass to this tank.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's probably a good idea. But you would think that with the Oscars and all that, you'd think they eat the little fish, but they obviously just can't be bothered or they can't catch
Well,
them.
this guy's always down there hunting. Him and him.
Yeah,
I think he ate something the other day
you'd think so.
because he was in there and I saw this bit of scale sort of went near the bubbles. I thought, good on you, mate.
But it's
Hope you ate
just
something.
an unbelievable amount of fish.
I counted up to about 130.
Oh, there's more than 130. You're not
I mean,
a good counter.
of all. That's
No,
that
there's
was
more
just
than
a
that.
quick count. That was a quick
No,
count.
you're a crap counter. That's like way more than that. I reckon there's heaps more than that.
It probably is. But
Because look, that's 10 like just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 10 right there.
Yeah, well, I counted from one side of the thing to the other, and
I reckon you're
you
looking
might
way
have
more.
another 20 or 30 hidden.
More, I reckon more.
And the way they breed, maybe even more than that.
Wow.
I don't like the little fish.
Yeah.
They look shit.
Oh, it looks so much better without the little fish. Jesus, look how big the sucking cat is now.
Yeah, he's
That is a monster sucking cat. Like you
swallowed that before?
can't see in the video how big this sucking cat is.
That's my old fish.
Oh yeah. What are they called? What is it?
Cody eye.
Dobie.
It's got to get all these babies out and start again. Well, the babies don't make the tank look any better, that's for sure. So when you're feeding fish, you want to start with a rule. I normally feed them 5 times a week, so that's not every day. And then I feed them what they eat in 30 seconds, so you can't see one speck of food after 30 seconds. And that's just a place to start. Then over about a month, you want to be watching the belly of the fish. And if you look underneath the fish, and you look between their pelvic fins and their anal fin, and then if you see just a little bit of a belly, then whatever you're doing is good. If you notice it going up at all between those 2 fins, then you are not feeding enough. If you see it coming down from the 2 fins, then you're probably feeding too much. So this fella here is probably slightly skinny, but pretty good. And then if you're looking down on the fish, it's basically the same. So if you see their gills looking down, and then they should hold like a nice big thick body. So the main part of the body of the fish should be slightly past the gills if you're looking down, and then it should taper off. You don't want your fish to look like an arrow. You don't want it to have the head and then go from their gills down. That's bad. That means that you're feeding too much. Not enough, sorry. But at the same time, you don't want it to be a big fat thing either. So it's important to know what the species look like that is in question. And then you've got to know that the way your fish look now is a result of how you were feeding them last month. So if you notice they're a little bit skinny, then you want to feed a little bit more. And then you want to watch it over a month. And if they're a bit fat, you want to feed them a little bit less and watch it over a month. Now, the next thing you need to look at, particularly in a big tank like this, is who's getting skinny and who's getting fat. So if, for example, these skinny fish are the little fish, then you probably need more small pellets. If you notice that the big fish are getting skinny, then you probably need more big pellets. So some pellets float, some pellets sink, some pellets are big, some pellets are small. So it's really a matter of making sure that the mix of pellets that you're putting in the tank is getting the results that you need for the fish that you've got. So you're watching the types of fish, you're watching the size of the fish, you've got to understand what the fish is supposed to look like, and then you slowly change the amount until you eventually figure out how much you should be feeding your fish. In their bellies. So every time that we do a water change, we recommend doing a gravel clean, because you never want to just be taking the good water off the top of the tank. You want to be taking all of the crap out of the bottom of the tank, and that gives you much better value to your water change. That way there's dirty water coming out, then we're putting good water back in. Do a gravel clean every time you water change. When you're feeding fish, there's 2 considerations. One is the amount of food and the type or size of the food, and then there's very much the consideration of quality. So fish feeding is 50% water quality and 50% nutrients. So Danichi, this brand here, is about the best quality brand you can get. Then we've got some New Life Spectrum, and then we've got some algae wafers from New Life Spectrum. So this is very, very high quality food, because most fish food is processed crap in a can. You want to be buying either cold extruded or slow cooked food, and you want holistic. You don't want byproducts. And believe it or not, many ingredients that are in cheap fish foods are actually toxic or potentially toxic. So you want to buy high quality organic, organic's probably not the right word, but holistic food. That's what I'm saying, that's the spot where it builds up. Yeah, where it builds up. It's just absolutely black. Now, fake plants are something that have a shelf life in an aquarium. You normally find that they last for about 2 years, and then they just look shabby and crap. You can get extra life out of them by when they are dirty. You put them in the sun, leave them for a day or two, flip them over, leave them for a day or two, hit it with the hose. And when the plants are relatively new, you will get some extra life out of the plants. But after a couple of years, and you've done that, and they still look bad, then it's time to chuck them out, get some nice new plants, something different, and go. Having spare stuff in the aquarium industry is really great. So always try and carry a bit of spare for all the products that you use, because it's really annoying when you start doing a bit of a service and then realise that you're out of water agent, for example. So all of the main key products that you use, try to stock what you stock, and then stock a spare one, just for those days when you've forgotten that you've not bought it, and you've gone and done half a water change, and then you don't even have water agent to fill it up, then that becomes a major inconvenience. So spare stuff is the key to being organised with fish. Whenever you do an overhaul in your aquarium, and then you put the plants back in, make it all look a little bit different, it just makes the aquarium look so much better. Just give it a bit of a rescape. Nice sunset. Moon's out. Doesn't get much better than this, does it?